Jeff Gordon completes lap number 187 in the lead. Skinner is second. Kenny Irwin down on the low side in third. Ward Burton up high and losing spots. Can Mike Skinner make a move? And can Kenny Irwin make a move? They're down the backstretch for the final time. Gordon keeps the car low on the racetrack. Nobody makes a move yet. Will anyone make the move before they hit the start-finish line? Now Kenny Irwin looks to the inside of Mike Skinner. Nothing going there. Dale Earnhardt is up on the high side in the battle for third position. He's got a good run up there.
Remember what Mike Skinner said? He'd wreck his mother to win a race?
Let's see what happens. Gordon has the lead as they come down through the tri-oval. And Jeff Gordon is back. He's going to win the Die-Hard 500. And as they cross the line, you can see the finishing position. Skinner.
As he came up the racetrack. That
hurt his momentum.
It hurt his momentum. It did. And Hamilton gets the lead.
That's his teammate again behind him on the white flag lap.
And he doesn't want to leave his teammate hanging, but he's got to, or he may lose the lead to the 20 car.
I'm sure he needs to get to the bottom, and he goes to the bottom in front of Tony Stewart.
Now leaves his teammate Joe Nemechek out to drive.
Now Bobby Hamilton's got to worry.
Hamilton comes up to take Nemechek along.
Play both sides, Bobby, both sides.
Oh, he's got to go to the bottom, Darrell. Protect the bottom.
Protect the bottom.
Mark Martin, you know what? Make it 3 wide.
Folks, just remember, the start-finish line, when you come off of turn 4, the race is just beginning.
Hamilton, Stewart, and then 3 wide behind them.
If he'll protect the bottom, I don't believe they can beat him. He goes to the bottom here off turn 4.
Nice block.
Time to pop it, baby.
5 wide behind him for the last time through. Hamilton wins. Stewart is second, and they are 4 abreast for third. I believe Kurt Busch got it.
And I wouldn't even begin to get it.
And 4 of the top 5 as they come to the line make that 5 of the top 6. Our 500-mile race winner.
All right, one more.
Whoa, 3 wide contact in the tri-oval.
3 car lengths back to the
Here we go. 1 lap to go.
Darrell, I think if he runs the bottom, it's going to be hard for him to get by him on the high side.
Yeah, I don't see any way. I mean, they're going to lay off of him and try to get a run on him, but he's just too fast.
1 lap ago, they got that run. If Kurt Busch can get right to the back bumper of Geico Waltrip, they may have a chance at Earnhardt Jr.
How about that Kurt Busch? Whoa, how about that? That's what Dale Jr. does. Dale Jr. just said, how about that Kurt Busch?
But you and Michael are single file. They kind of stalemated. They stalemate.
Oh, this is Dale Jr.'s in the catbird seat now. Those guys are stalling. They're stalling out behind him.
It's just you and Michael. Bring it on home, buddy.
All you got to do is worry about which way to go now for Michael. Michael doesn't want to let anybody get by him.
Trying to get a run.
They got it. First and second.
Here comes Michael to the bottom, and he's going to run out of time. Earnhardt Jr. wins at Talladega.
Michael second, Kurt Busch third, Jeff Gordon fourth, Kenny Wallace fifth in that Michael Wallace.
How about that? That's 3 DEI cars, 8, 15, and 98.
First, second, and fifth. For Dale Earnhardt Jr., his second straight Talladega win. He's only started 5 wins to Cup races here. He's won 2 of them, and he's won 3 of the last 4 restrictor plate races.
Well, I tell you, those guys gave him one fast race car today. I mean, he just had a car that could lead the race. Nobody could pass him. Everybody tried. Led a lot of laps. Dominated this show.
Kurt Busch finishes 3rd in this race for the 2nd straight year, and let's go to Dick Berggren.
And that was Tony Eury Sr. He is on his way to victory lane. How much of today was car, and how much of it was that young man behind the wheel, Tony?
Well, definitely he's one hell of a wheel man here, but I think we owe that one right there to Michael Waltrip. This DEI brigade at these speedways has turned into something big. We even had Kenny Wallace coming on there with our old 2000 car, so Steve got messed up.
Boy, if he's got, there they go. No, he's gonna, I'm just going to say, if he's got to make it without crashing.
Come on back to the caution. This is going to be it. Come on, baby.
If the caution comes out, this will be the race right here. If they do throw the caution, indeed.
Keep coming.
No caution.
You have to keep going. They're not going to throw it.
No caution. 1 lap to go. This car going, so we're under green. We have another almost a lap of racing.
Yeah, I just said to myself, if they can make it around without wrecking, I'll never believe that.
Now, Dale Jr.
becomes the Department of Defense.
But you watch him, Darrell. I bet he'll hug that yellow line. You don't want to open up the bottom.
NASCAR has called Junior's pass a clean pass. This is for the win.
Can he do it, guys? It'd be 4 in a row. He has about a fourth of a lap to go. Remember, the start-finish line is way down headed into turn 1. It's not in the center of the tri-oval.
You can't do it, Larry. You can't make it. You're not going to pull out and pass him with a single file.
The videotape showed in their eye that Dale Earnhardt Jr. was in the act of passing when he was forced below the yellow line. So the pass holds. Earnhardt's first to the checkered flag, and he goes to victory lane.
And what a day getting there. I mean, he was involved. They had to change engines.
Good job.
He is one happy guy. Had to change engines, went to the rear of the field, involved in the big crash, lost the pack, almost was a half a lap down, and here he is, victory lane.
Now, let's show you what NASCAR saw as they made their decision that Earnhardt Jr.'s pass was legal.
He was pretty much all the way to Matt Kenseth door to door when he was forced down below the yellow line. Walker in the 15, he's fighting his way back up.
Gordon inches ahead.
Right there is where Junior is so strong. Sailing off into the
trouble.
turn.
One car around, and it's Brian Vickers.
All right, the caution is out, and we are past the red flag lap. We are past the red flag lap. But remember, the field was frozen when the caution flag came out.
And who at that moment was the leader? We'll have to go back and see.
It would be obviously either Dale Earnhardt Jr. in the 8 or Jeff Gordon in the 24. Even though NASCAR was sorted out, as you see these two guys behind the pace car, both of them want up there. They want behind. They want to be the first car behind that pace truck.
We are at a point where the red flag would no longer be displayed to stop this race, sort things out. They do announce in the driver's meeting the last lap on which that could happen, and we have passed that point. So either we gather the field up for a restart, or they take a look at how they were running at the moment of caution to decide the finish.
And when you are challenging the call, you pull up beside the guy. So how many challenges do we have here?
Jeff Gordon will be the leader.
And I think they just told the crowd that too.
Scoreboard has not yet changed to reflect that, but that is what we're being told as of the moment of caution. The question will be, can we get restarted?
I think we're going to have a green, white, and checkered. That's the way it's looking to me.
Well, to do that, Darrell, they'd have to give one to go when they come past the start line, and we're not seeing that indication. Here's Gordon. Jeff Gordon leading, Harvick and Junior.
Yeah.
The car is sideways. And in NASCAR's determination at the moment of caution.
Pretty good day for Morgan McClure. Kyle Petty up there in 24th. Schrader led the race there a little while. 23rd.
I'd say that's one happy group right there. Good job, guys. It's one of the fabricators who obviously plays a big role in a restrictor plate race car, the body, the aero side of it. And of course, the person these cautions hurt the most was Tony Stewart in that 20 car.
My luck hasn't
green flag
exactly
lap.
been perfect lately, so let's wait till I get that start-finish line. F4.
Now, Tony Stewart will be 22nd. Just could not gain any ground after having to make that
Free all over the place out there, just watch it.
that final stop. And that's what NASCAR was concerned about. A lot of debris on the racetrack.
God. Probably all Budweiser cans.
However, that debris has come from that section of the grandstand. That's a sad commentary. The fans, of course, they want to see a green flag finish. Safety of the drivers, though, is paramount. And Jeff Gordon will win the Aaron's 490.
The white flag. This time they're going to kick Elliott Sadler to the high side to 38.
Stewart took the air off Sadler's spoiler. McMurray working him down, but Stewart's got room. They touch.
He's there.
One to go.
Working
Now,
just right.
Now, boys, let me tell you, that 15 and that 20, it could be trouble for Jeff Gordon.
McMurray and Mayfield traded a little paint, and Jeremy is up to fourth. Kurt Busch, the defending series champ, battles for fifth. 4 cars with a little breakaway.
Jeff Gordon protecting that bottom of the racetrack. You can see Michael Waltrip all over the back bumper of Tony Stewart.
They just can't get to him. They're there, but they can't get enough run on him to get by him. It's a long way down here to the start-finish line, but I just don't think they got the steam. Jeff's car is just too fast.
A lot of races have been decided between right here and the finish line down past the pit exit. But Jeff Gordon is going to hold him off and win the Aaron's 499. Tony Stewart, a hard-fought second. Michael Waltrip third. Jeremy Mayfield to fourth. And Jamie McMurray top 5.
Oh, Ken Schrader finished 8th, but Jeff Gordon led 138
make it easy on
laps.
me. Give me a race.
Two teammates to win it, though. Gordon and Johnson. He slides way up high and takes the white flag. Johnson stayed in bounds in the 48 car. He's got the push from Tony Stewart in the 20 to keep Vickers to the high side. Vickers couldn't block them both. Here comes Kenseth around the top, but no help for Matt. Tony's pushing up.
20 car behind you.
Going to get tight here, guys. Going to get tight.
Gordon's at the bottom in the 24. Not a lot of help down there.
On your Merritt in the 25, single file.
It's just tire smoke. They're beating and banging over there.
They're rubbing everything they got. Bottoms, tops, sides.
Checkered flag, so you better get the gas on.
All Jimmy Johnson F48 can do is protect the bottom. That's all he can hope for.
Just remember, it's a long way down here to the finish line.
Oh, yeah.
Here it comes.
Locking Stewart. Here they come. Jimmy Johnson, Daytona 500 winner, holds off Tony Stewart and wins the Aaron's 499. On a run. Wow. Stewart second. Vickers third.
Oh, yeah.
If you're going to get Jeff Gordon, you got to get him now.
Yes,
you
sir.
cannot let him get up to speed.
Regardless of where the start-finish line is.
I tell you.
But Jeff Gordon can't get a big restart and get away from the pack because then they'll draft on by him.
I think McMurray is going to try to jump all over him like a frog on a June bug.
Green flag. Johnson to the inside.
And there goes Kurt Busch in the 2 car with him, pushing him. They're going to trap McMurray in the 26 on the high side.
Boy, I'll say, look at him fan out. High, low, high, low. Somebody help me.
Oh, there goes Stewart in the 20 to the high side with no help. They're 3 wide off turn 2. We got trouble.
It's over.
There's the caution. There is the caution right there. Only one attempt at this green-white check.
And Stewart has crashed. While everyone lifted for the caution flag, Tony Stewart ended up in the wall.
We certainly know that Jeff Gordon, the 24 car, was leading this race at the time of caution. Now, one thing that differs from determining the restart order after a caution in the race is they'll go to where the cars were at the minute the caution came out as far as the finishing order, not where they crossed the last loop for the finish of the race.
Let's see what happens here, because they were all coming up to speed and there was a lot of blocking going on. You see Gilliland, I just saw him cut down in front of Tony.
Kenseth got into Sauter. Sauter's still okay. 4 wide.
4 wide, and no, the 16 comes down, catches the 70, but there's action in front of these guys.
Well, Elliott Sadler and the 16 got together. That's what caused the wreck. But when
Tony, right here, you see the 38 and Tony.
Who tipped David Gilliland around?
Somebody must have, was it 26?
Ouch.
Man, that's a hard hit, and there's no safer barrier there.
No, we may see from another angle who tipped Gilliland.
They go way up there.
I mean, the 16 Biffle just came down on Elliott Sadler, and Johnny Sauter, the 70, ended up being the victim there, and Elliott Sadler was able to continue.
NASCAR will determine at what moment they lit up the caution lights to freeze the field and end the race. Stewart very unhappy.
Not sure what that's about. We'll figure it out, though.
Because somebody sure turned him. The wreck was behind him, but as the caution flew, a lot of people checked up.
Let's see what happens. There's Tony on the high, up on the outside. They see a wreck behind him.
McMurray.
Somebody got into the back of David Gilliland in that 38 car as well, which I think was all part of that equation right there.
Boy, and then there, you see down here where Tony hits the wall, there's no safer barrier there. You can see it stops at that opening back there. That's a hard driver lick. Oh, here we go. Here we go. 26 is there. The 38.
The silver car.
The 38's kind of coming up, and McMurray's kind of caught in a trap.
Yeah, I mean, I know Tony's upset with Jamie right now. I'm not sure Jamie could do a whole lot about that.
Checkered flag waves on Jeff Gordon. His 77th career NASCAR Nextel Cup victory.
They're fighting back.
Gordon lost a bit of momentum and lost his health. Here they come to the line. White flag. 1 lap to go. Cobb and trouble. A spin in the trial of Michael McDowell has spun. The white flag is out.
No caution. If he can get out of the racetrack, we shouldn't have a caution.
Kyle Busch
Still leading. Oh,
trouble.
A big one. Much worse.
Turn 2.
48.
Keep rolling.
We still not caution. Caution is out. They got cars out. We got to stop.
That's ours.
That's it. You can't. The race is over.
Because we took the white flag.
We're in the white flag lap. The race is over. What a wreck.
Kevin Harvick in the 29 car.
Well, I don't really believe in betting a whole lot, but I would have bet you we'd end like this.
That's Regan Smith. And Kyle Busch.
Oh, man, I don't believe it. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Eminem. Thank you, Jeff. Jeff, you are my man.
Checkered flag.
There you go.
Kyle Busch. Rowdy Busch wins at Talladega. Steve Burns.
And Mike Joe Gibbs congratulating his race team. Great comeback win. Joe, you guys got a lap down. Describe what this feels like.
I tell you, this is a great feeling. I'm so happy for Eminem and Mars, Kyle. Then he got back up there. I felt bad for Tony today, Home Depot. Kind of tired down, got ourselves back there so they could do a wreck. It was a great day for our race team. FedEx, the 11 car. But it is great for Kyle. He's been red hot. He's super competitive. Today he had to come all the way from the back, and Lord bless us with a great day. We got a bunch of great guys that got a great sponsors. We're really proud of them.
Congratulations, Joe.
And a great Toyota.
Back Mike Joy.
Thanks, Steve. Michael McDowell spun in the tri-oval. That, however, did not bring out a caution. He was pretty much trailing the field. A little contact with his teammate David Rudiman and Greg Biffle, and around goes McDowell.
Yeah, that wasn't a problem because he was able to get out of the way, or at least we were thinking he was going to. But this down here is where the problem comes. Oh, looked like it.
McMurray moved up, but did he have help?
I think Junior may have. I don't know if Junior got in the back of McMurray and shot him up the hill or not. And then 40 car.
And then everybody.
And poor Strimmy. He had a great run all day. Well, all these guys did, really, but...
Nemechek, the pole sitter.
Jimmy Johnson was involved, the 48 car.
Harvick, Casey Kane, Elliott Sadler. A wild finish to another race at Talladega. And the wild thing, Kyle Busch came from a lap down to go to victory lane.
The Hendrick car running second. That's
That's a Hendrick-related car leading the race, and that's a Hendrick-related car pushing Carl Edwards. White flag this time.
Yeah, Carl Edwards from the back all day to the lead with 1 to go.
3 Chevys and 1 Ford, and it doesn't matter now. Your friends are where you find them. And from hanging out back, Carl Edwards.
I'll tell you, I don't know if they can catch them. What we've seen today, 2 cars get that big a run on them. I don't know that the 39 and the 88 can catch them.
They're in the draft of Edwards and Keselowski.
He's all over you here, just you and him.
Carl Edwards restarted 8th.
If that 09 can stay hooked to the back of that 99, it's going to be hard to get them. It's going to be close right here at the line.
Can Keselowski try to win it?
I don't know. I don't think he can step out until he waits till the last second and picks up.
He goes to the outside. Is Edwards going to
no.
He turns him.
No.
Oh, and that destroyed the front end of Newman's car.
No.
Edwards will not make it to the flag.
Oh,
Brad Keselowski won this race.
Unbelievable.
Carl Edwards' car destroyed, and Junior's protege, Keselowski, the winner, and Carl Edwards is moving around and ready to climb out.
Larry, look at that. The carburetor's gone off.
It's completely gone.
Carl did what he wanted to do. He stayed at the back all day long. He played it smart. Had this race possibly won. Not now. Not sure where Carl's going. Maybe he thinks if he runs across the start-finish line, it'll count.
That's what he's doing. That's what he's doing.
He's like you know how he is. He's an athlete, a marathon runner. I want to finish the race.
And he did,
yes,
to a standing ovation from the crowd. Shades of Ricky Bobby.
Don't you know, Larry, that James Finch is fit to be tied right now?
Finch owns this car. He bought it from Rick Hendrick and leased the engine, a whole Hendrick package.
Let's take a look, Mike. Carl Edwards, he opened it up just a little bit.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think this is a hard lick right into the fence. I mean, that car, that looked like Bobby Allison did here in 1987.
The catch fence did its job, and the car did its job.
Thank goodness we have the new, much stronger, safer catch fences.
And Newman took a hard hit from Edwards as well. Look at just a car with the room left on the bottom.
What happened here is the 09 looked to the outside. Carl went up a little bit to block him, and 09 went right back to the bottom and clipped him.
You know, the move looked a lot like the one that Brian Vickers put on Jimmy Johnson when Vickers won.
Wow.
But what a hit.
Wow. That is 1987 all over again. Oh, my gosh. And did you see that? I believe it was Biffle that almost T-boned.
He's getting in the 56 with the push from Kyle Busch in the 18. White flag this time.
Can Montoya and Hamlin do the 2x2 tango, or will Harvick shove McMurray to victory lane? White flag in the wind. 1 lap to go.
ECR engines at the front of the field working together and looking good.
The big question, both those guys, they have to be on fumes as far as fuel, the 1 and the 29.
I don't like that. There's a little bit nervous getting a big lead out here. You got to be careful. But with these guys 2x2 behind them, it might work.
Staying to the inside, the 2 leaders have no drafting help, but they are scooting away from the pack. 3 corners to go.
Now Harvick, he'll keep pushing him, and he'll get over here to the travel, try to make the slingshot on him.
As soon as he knows that he doesn't have to worry about that 3rd place car of Montoya, he probably will try to make a move, although I don't know if it'll do him any good or not.
Last chance through the trial.
Here he comes!
Here they come!
Oh, he got him!
It's Harvick!
He got him!
He timed it perfect!
He got him!
Mister, where did he come from? Wins counting.
He got him.
He timed it picture perfect.
Oh, boy.
And McMurray opened that bottom just enough.
I think McMurray thought, I've got it made because Harvick's not going to do anything. He can't afford to. Holy cow, look at Delana. She can't believe it.
There comes their teammates as well, Johnson and Earnhardt Jr. White flag this time.
Those have been the two best cars right there most of this race. They're just now showing it.
The bell lap, and the man who started up front leads it, Jeff Gordon.
But here comes the next two pair. These two cats right here, they may have timed it out too. Let's see what happens down the back.
Now they will get a draft off Mark Martin. And here's the slingshot to the outside.
Stay together. That's what they're saying. Stay together. Push, push, push. It's going to get tight down here in turn 3.
Don't forget Jimmy Johnson and Dale Jr., 5th and 6th. They are there. Which group will they go with? And will it help the Childress cars, or will it help Jeff Gordon to victory lane?
All bets are off. They get to the middle of the tri-oval.
Watch out, down low.
Way
Good
down
run.
comes Johnson.
Good run.
He's got room. They're 3 wide. 3 by 3 to the line.
Johnson.
Maybe Jimmy Johnson.
I believe he got him by an inch.
2 1/1000ths of a second he beat Boyer.
Okay, a 1/16 of an inch.
Have you ever?
Oh, man. Oh, man.
No, we have
I
never.
have never seen anything like that. Woohoo! What a fitty outside there. Here they come.
Look
the 2
at
and
the
the
run.
18.
Keselowski in the 2. Look at the run. He's getting there with that push from Kyle Busch.
Did Matt Kenseth get too far out in front, or is he setting up for this? The last lap as they come to the line, 1 to go.
Well, you don't want to lead on the last lap, but I'm not sure that that's going to work out the way Matt thought it was when this is the white flag lap.
Junior up the outside, somebody steaming. In that pair, it's Kyle Busch, Casey Kane.
And the problem, Matt, he's got no help. He's all by himself.
But think about Kyle Busch. He lost the race yesterday by leading coming back to the checker flag.
And also
Think about the movement and tri-oval here. Think about your...
It's a 2-horse race. Boyer on Stanley Steamer. Up in turn number 3.
Hey, boys.
A car length apart, Kyle Busch.
It ain't over yet. Remember that start-finish line.
I don't think he's close enough, Darrell. I don't think he's close enough.
Brad Keselowski pulling away. It's all happening behind him, and Keselowski for the second time will go to victory lane in Talladega.
Wow. Unbelievable. We'll see what happens.
Here they come to the white flag. 1 lap to go.
And it's a race from here on, no matter what happens.
Johnson looked high. Kenseth to draft with Edwards. Johnson to the bottom. Almirola to the top.
Man, Matt got shuffled out again.
Jimmy Johnson with Carl Edwards, but Kenseth up the middle, coming back. Help from David Reagan. Up to the bumper of Carl Edwards. Reagan in the middle. His teammate Gilliland is the pusher. They're right on the bumper of Edwards. Is there anywhere to go? Reagan to the bottom. Gilliland with him. David Reagan, July winner at Daytona a couple of years ago. Gilliland with him. Edwards up top. Michael Waltrip to help. And here they come off turn 4.
Push, boys, push. Push hard.
Edwards high. Reagan comes up. Carl on the spot.
Gilliland's got it. He's got it.
Front row racing his way to victory lane at Talladega. Reagan first. Gilliland second. How about that?
Oh, yeah, baby. Yeah.
What an unbelievable.
Leader gets the white flag. The next flag ends the race. Josh Wise takes them 4 wide to the outside. Here they come.
Whoa, whoa. Trouble, trouble.
Justin Allgaier. And there is debris on the racetrack. Plastic from Allgaier's
No caution. White flag in the air. They're racing back.
Darrell, there's a half of a bumper laying right in the middle of the front straightaway right before the start-finish line.
Don't see a caution flag yet. I don't see anything happening. It's all green.
It's just a piece of plastic.
Here we go.
Caution wave.
Caution's out. Caution's out. Stay in front here. Stay in front. Caution is out. There's debris here on the front.
At the moment of caution, where every driver was at, that's pretty much where they finished.
And Denny Hamlin has to come around to the flag, and it will be the checker, because once the leader takes the white flag, the next flag freezes the field. The race is over, and Denny Hamlin goes to victory lane at Talladega, his first restrictor plate win.
Everybody, pit crew, you want to put a snippet.
They come down the stretch. 1 to go.
White flag. Martin Truex on the outside. Menard's coming with him.
They'll never make it back.
And Denny Hamlin
He'll
goes
never
up there. We
make it
got
back.
one all the way on the apron spinning.
Carl Edwards.
Big wreck.
Nope.
No caution.
And now there's the wreck.
Big wreck.
3 cars hard in the wall.
Big wreck in rear. Keep coming.
Casey
Keep coming.
Mears,
Keep
Ricky
coming.
Stenhouse, Jeff
back
Gordon
up.
around.
Watch your
Here
mirror.
come the
No
leaders.
caution.
We're still green.
No
Still
caution.
green.
Come on, boys. Bring it to the house.
Menard to the bottom with
Big one
Blaney.
coming on the bottom. Big one
Junior
coming on the
trying to
bottom.
hold everybody off.
Come on, Blaney. You got one more shot. You can do it.
Earnhardt, Johnson, Menard, Blaney. Double wide behind them. 4 cars to settle it. Earnhardt trying to cover all spots. Dale Earnhardt Jr. Checkered flag at Talladega. Johnson second. Menard third.
All right, buddy, track's clear.
Blaney, Truex the top 5. And one car in the wall coming to the line way up in the dust. That was Stenhouse, who's wiped the whole right side off his car on the final lap.
Oh, Junebug. Nice job, brother.
I'd say Junior Nation's going to party like it's 1999.
Woohoo!
Don't forget that 35 car. David Gillen running third.
The 3 car.
The white flag waves. 1 lap to go. Sponsored by Credit One Bank.
Holy smoly.
Payne to the bottom, trying to get something going. No help.
Kurt Busch just had a big moment, lost a lot of momentum.
He's going
There
up
goes Chase
high.
Elliott to the middle.
He's going to get a run here. Here comes a 3 car going to try to give the 18
Chase
a push.
Elliott breaks out of the pack up to 4th place.
Yeah,
Gonna
but
get
he
tight.
didn't get clear. He needed to get up in front of that 1 car. I just don't think anybody's going to be able to get enough momentum to get a big enough push to get by this 2. This is the best thing could have happened to him, was them getting side by side behind him.
Just remember where the start-finish line is.
That's right. It's not in the middle of the tri-oval.
Big run
Keselowski,
coming from the 18. Oh, the 3
Kyle
stepped
Busch,
out.
Dylan. Kyle Busch and Dylan side trouble. Car hard in the wall. 2 of them. Keselowski to the line. Caution had waved with Keselowski the leader, and crashing are Harvick, Allmendinger, Stenhouse, Truex, Labonte, and everybody else.
Good job today, Brad. That was you, man. Managing that.
I don't know how to explain this. I've never seen anything like this ever.
Bumper cars.
I've never seen
200
anything.
miles per hour.
I don't know how to explain it.
Similar to yesterday, caution flies in the last 1,000 feet of the race. The field is frozen at the moment of caution, but Brad Keselowski clearly was out ahead of the pack.
Yeah,
and will be the winner.
Any way you cut it, the 2 was the leader.
Upper left is the caution light. This is synced up with the video to establish the moment of caution into the tri-oval. Contact between Truex and Allmendinger, and then Cole Witt turns Kevin Harvick up and into the wall, and Stenhouse and Allmendinger. Witt slides along and crashes with Truex. Caution is out. Race is effectively over. Exit of pit road. 400 feet maybe from the start-finish line, and there's your finish line. We have a race.
Oh, we have a drag race.
Ends it.
I tell you, I thought Stenhouse could have made a move up right there, but you can see he's pretty well. He's got some speed for the. He and the 18 are pretty equal.
Fastest car here carries Busch up the race. White flag trying to end a 101 race winless streak for car owner Jack Roush is Ricky Stenhouse. Look at this, 4 wide.
Oh,
everybody wants to get to the front.
I just don't see how that's going to work out. Side drafter from McMurray on Casey Kane. He's going to get to the rear bumper or go in the middle between Jimmy Johnson and Kyle Busch.
Now what's Stenhouse do? Can he block? Can he block all of them coming at once?
5 wide.
Work it, dude. Work it.
Last lap. Bang. That was Busch into McMurray. Stenhouse gets away a little bit. 3 wide. Here they come off turn 4. This is the finish these fans came and stayed for. Ricky Stenhouse, the pride of Olive Branch, Mississippi. Top to bottom. Kyle Busch to the outside, gets blocked by Stenhouse. Here they come. Stenhouse wins it.
Woohoo! What a run.
That's making a fifth third better, boys.
What a
drilling.
It's always fun to see somebody get their first win.
Shake and bake, baby, shake and bake. Harvick trying to block both lanes at once.
I'll tell you one thing, that 41 car, I wouldn't put anything past him.
Stewart-Haas Racing has never won at Talladega or at Kentucky. They've won everywhere else.
Somebody's got to break free of the 9 and the 38. That lane has to break free, or maybe the 17 can give a run.
White flag waves. 1 lap to go. Sponsored by Credit One Bank. And here comes Stenhouse on the outside with Almirola.
He's looking, and Almirola's a lot of help. I just don't think they can get to the front, though.
Yeah. Stenhouse, Elliott, Almirola, Newman on the outside.
Mike, I just think that's going to stack everybody up side by side by side. That's what Logano wants to see.
If the 41 can get stacked back up to the front bumper, the 17, he might be able to get a run on the 22.
And here comes Reagan on the inside. I'll get you to the top 5. Follow me.
Kurt's going to have to get back there. I just don't think he's going to be able to do it if he's that close to the 22. Here comes a little bit of a push from the 17. Is it going to be enough?
The race is on, though. The start line way down here.
Everybody on their feet. Logano's going to go top to bottom to keep Kurt Busch at bay. And Joey Logano wins Talladega. Kurt Busch, Chase Elliott, Kevin Harvick, Ricky Stenhouse, the top 5.
What a day for that 22 car. Second and 2 stages of one.
The best thing that Chase Elliott could have asked for right there. I think it's going to take a whole nother lap to get that outside lane organized.
They can't do it. I just don't see it happening. That 9 car is in the driver's seat.
Oh, Stenhouse.
No. Stenhouse pounds the wall, but they took the white flag, sponsored by Credit One Bank, under green. Stenhouse.
No caution. Is it?
Trying to get away. Yet. Here they come. Chase Elliott, Alex Bowman, Ryan Preece. Logano on the outside.
Oh,
and Byron's around. He crashes. Caution is out.
Heavy impact to the inside wall by the 42 of Larson.
Man.
Kyle Larson, Jeffrey Earnhardt with heavy damage, and William Byron.
Man.
On the last lap.
Well, that was really scary looking. That 42's floating through the air as he made it impact to that inside wall.
Well, these 3 Chevy drivers did as ordered, worked together, and with the checkered flag, Chase come from. Kevin Harvick is in the lead. Don't look way back. They're 4 wide.
Can we get the 1 to go?
White flag.
There it is.
Stenhouse leading the second lane, going nowhere. It is Harvick and Chris Buescher.
Watch this run that Ty Dillon might be able to give to Ryan Blaney to give him a big run.
Nope, Ty goes underneath. Blaney pokes out. Stenhouse is with him. Harvick got away from Buescher.
Oh, reckon.
But up front, they're racing for the win.
Blaney's
the crash is
ahead.
in the back, and Blaney is the leader. Stenhouse comes back to him on the bottom. Off turn 4, 3 wide.
Not over yet. Here comes Eric Jones.
Nemechek trying to push Jones. Eric Jones with help. Here comes Almirola. Crash into the wall. I think it's Stenhouse. It might be Blaney.
Oh my goodness. They were what, 3-4 wide? Slamming and banging. Almirola spun out, but he's in 3rd position at the line.
Great job there, Josh. Way to stay calm, collected.
Scoring unofficial and under review. And Ryan Blaney wins Talladega. What a wild finish.
Now Ryan Blaney was able to side draft, get that run, get to the inside of the 4. Here comes a huge run. John Hunter Nemechek to the rear bumper of Eric Jones, just shoving him to Ryan Blaney. Ryan Blaney goes from the top all the way to the bottom to try to block that run. More contact. Man, Stenhouse was so close to pulling ahead of Blaney.
Wow.
And look at the 10 car
and
spinning
Almirola
as he backs
third
over
at the line. How about that?
Too far here. He broke away from that 12 car. Yeah, if you're Matty D, you don't want to get too far up front, but you hope those guys stay side by side behind you as you take the white flag.
That's what he wants to see right now. 4 wide through the tri-oval mid-pack. White flag in the air. Next flag in the race.
Oh no, Matty D
gave
went
up on
high.
his plan. Now you got Brad Keselowski's got the
he's got
heck of a push on the back of him.
The man with the plan, Brad Keselowski, has Michael McDowell in tow, and then Kevin Harvick.
Here comes a big run from the 8. Tyler Reddick's. Oh, but he's not going to push the 12. There, that's going to do it for Brad Keselowski on that inside lane. I'm not saying he's got the win. Now the 34 and the 4 got to get lined up. Look at Eric Jones.
Mile and a half to go.
Talked about right there.
That Jones boy up into 4th.
Kevin Harvick with a run.
Chris Buescher back there. He's wrecking. He's in the wall.
Big run.
17 in the wall,
McDowell.
but here they come.
What's McDowell going to do?
Down to the finish. One car turned in the fence. Keselowski, the leader. To the outside comes McDowell, and Brad Keselowski wins Talladega as one car goes sliding, spinning, and slamming into the inside wall.
Man, that was wild. Looks like a left rear tire went down on Eric Jones. Big impact with the left front of Chastain into that safer barrier past the start-finish line.
Everybody, especially you, Coleman, did a hell of a job right here. Yes, you did, brother. That was awesome. Great job, man.
35th career win for Keselowski. He won at Richmond last fall. First one of the season, another different winner.
I had a chance to go and do an interview with him this week leading into this race and just pick 4 Chevrolets.
Still seems like it's going to be settled right here amongst these front 5 or 6.
I agree, but anybody breaks that plan, anybody moves too wide, it can give everybody behind them an opportunity to get on them.
White flag, sponsored by Credit One Bank.
You see the flaps moving on the one. He's pushing hard.
Justin Haley gets out of line here. Austin Dillon goes by.
Push. Is it too early to go off of 2, Dale?
Quarterback.
Too soon. Remember what the start-finish line is. Way down.
That's right.
Turn 1 and 2.
Byron spit out to the outside.
29 times this race has been decided by a last lap pass.
Oh, Kurt to the outside. That's going to slow down this one.
Now watch the momentum with the 1 car.
Too far out. 3 back.
Kyle Busch.
He's out of long ways. Here comes a run with the 5.
Kyle Larson, big push. Does it go to the outside?
He's going to have to. Here he goes.
And he's in the wall.
Opens the door up for the 1 of Ross Chastain.
And on the outside, Kyle Larson added.
Oh my gosh. How about you?
Ross Chastain. Ross is the boss of Talladega.
Ross just kept it straight. Everyone else went everywhere.
Well, he was able to. The 5 making that move to the outside, getting the big block by Eric Jones. Got him doubled up on the outside.